Hey guys, this is a Bronze League game that I'm going to be reviewing in order to give a little bit of insight on what could have been done differently in order to maybe improve the game a little bit. And first thing I noticed, it looks like that this player, he takes one of his starting drones and it looks like he's going to go scout with it. Let's see, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it looks like one of his beginning drones and he just has him hanging out over here, not doing much of anything. That could definitely have been improved. On this map, I really don't feel there was any reason to just like bring him down here. It looks like yes, he's going to be taking him out to go scout. Let's quicken up the pace a little bit, and especially on this map where you know where your opponent is, and your opponent is Protoss. I don't think there's really any reason to be having one of your beginner drones to be going and go scout out your opponent. And over here you can see he scouted him and he didn't see anything of much use really. I mean, there really was no point in that scout. What I would have done differently right there would have been like on a map where you know where your opponent is going to be, because this is a two-player map, I would have started scouting with my 10th drone at the earliest, really. And then once he got here, I would have hung out over here until I saw the first two buildings that the Protoss player puts up. In this case, it's a gateway and a forge. And the gateway and the forge would indicate that one of two things. Either your opponent's going to try to go for some kind of photon cannon cheese, so you're going to have to make sure to have your overlords scout out the area. And actually, the Zerg player does have a good overlord spread over here, so that's not bad at all. But you could have another overlord over here, because like with that kind of build, gateway then forge, the Protoss player might be trying to deny an expansion over here, throw a couple of photon cannons over here. The other thing that the other thing that may indicate is that the Protoss player is going to be going for a more macro game. He's not going to be building units that fast. So I'll get a little bit so I could talk a little bit more. So that means that you'll be having more time to macro up as Zerg player if you see this forge and he doesn't do a photon cannon rush. And let's see what's in production right here. Actually, let's back up a little bit because I think talking like that just made me miss a lot. Let's see, let's go back, way back here. Wow, I did a lot of talking, didn't I? Well, anyway, also, if I recall correctly, the Zerg player went for a little bit of an early build. I think it was like a 13 pool or something like that. And if you're going to be doing a little bit earlier on pool like that, there should be a reason why you're doing it. It's either because you're fearing an opponent early attack, or you're attempting to attack yourself early. And also you put up two spine crawlers over here very early. There really was no reason to put these spine crawlers as early as he did. Had the Zerg player left his drone over here for a little bit longer, he would have been able to see that he only had one gateway and a forge over here. And another thing that I often do is do the extractor trick over here. I mean, extractor steal over here. Gas steal, rather. But that's really up to you, whether or not you want to do that. And let's see what else. Looks like the Zerg player is queuing up a couple lings. Alright. He only has 6 lings. I would have done a little bit less, 4 lings maybe. And just use those 4 lings to scout. And he's queuing up a whole lot more. Wait, wrong tab. He's queuing up a whole lot more lings. I mean, if the Zerg player is going to be taking these forces to go attempt to do an attack or something, then that's fine to begin that many Zergs early. But I already watched this replay, and the Zerg player doesn't go for an attack. He leaves these guys home and just hangs out, basically. So basically there was no reason to be building that many lings that early. He should have gone drones until maybe 30, and then built a few more lings and scouted out what his opponent was building, and just tried to stay in somewhat kind of a proximity to the Protoss player's army. so that he'd be able to have enough units built after the Protoss. You see that the Protoss player starts moving out and reaches base. So you should, instead of all these units should have been drones until about 30 supply. And here's a whole lot more lings. And the hatchery could have been a lot earlier. 40 hatchery, that's a fairly late hatchery. I would have put one down at me if he's going for an eco build. Latest 22 hatchery, he should have gone like at 22 supply. He should have put down his second hatchery over here. So a lot of lings for no reason. Spine crawlers early for no reason over here. You could have delayed the spine crawlers a little bit around until like maybe around 25 supply, something like that. Let's see. Opponent still doesn't have a lot. So a couple spine crawlers over here have been fine. I think he should move his overlord down over here in order to keep a better lookout over here in case the Protoss opponent attempts to break in through the back. You should have a ling just hanging out over here. You should have an overlord or two around the base, around here and maybe around here, just so that you could like pull in a suicide scout if you like not getting a good idea of what your opponent is doing. But since this Protoss player is not even blocking out his front, you probably could just run the ling in and be able to get a good sight of what's going on around his base. Let's see. Harvesters are a bit low for this time in the game, and the fact that no attack has occurred yet. He brought his spawn calls over here. That's not a bad idea. Let's see what else is going on here. So yeah, basically that's the biggest mistake I saw in this game. Unnecessary spine crawlers built unnecessarily early, and lings built unnecessarily early for really no purpose. I mean, you built all these lings that could have been, most of these could have been drones instead, and it's 12, almost 12 minutes into the game and nothing has occurred yet, really. The lings could have been delayed and more drones could have been built. Spine crawlers could have been delayed too. Now a lot of resource stockpiling over here, 1500, 1800, no reason for there to be that much resources being stockpiled at this time. Really needs to be spent. I mean, build Mutalisk. I mean, I don't know why he hasn't built any Mutalisk right now. I mean, now he's building it. Could have afforded to build it before and start attacking on the opponent. He would have been fairly vulnerable. Attack here, stalkers come up, then come down here and start attacking the drones down here. Here's another mistake. He attacks his army outside the range of the spine crawlers. Big mistake. But since he had so many resources stockpiled, he's able to wipe out this army with the Mutalisk that just popped out. So the Zerg player is actually in a pretty good position right now. Well, actually not. The Zerg looks like the Zerg player fell behind in drone count. Let's see why that happened. And this is why it happened.